Tomorrow is one of those days that comes round unfailingly every year. It has all the inevitability of a birthday or of one of the feasts of the church, but it's neither of those. It's the day when I meet my accountant to present the numbers he will need to complete my tax return. I've prepared for this meeting every year for more than 20 years, and the ritual has become familiar. I assemble my P60 and my P11D. I work out what I've spent on gas and electricity. I add up the pitifully tiny amounts of interest that my savings have managed to generate. And what emerges is a story of the year that has ended. A story told in receipts and invoices and direct debit payments. This year, the story is a strange one because, of course, the year that we will be looking at ended on the 4th of April 2021. The pandemic marked every one of those 12 months. So, as I've done my preparation for tomorrow, the story is not what I've become used to. My expenses of office for the year are a good example. Normally, I will clock up substantial mileage around the diocese and record regular train trips to London or elsewhere to attend meetings or training events. This year, there is almost none of this. Few of us have travelled very much. Again, in a normal year, I will have accumulated quite a lot of hospitality costs. It's sometimes been an almost embarrassing figure, and I've rather wondered where all that Shiraz and cake has gone. But this year there is almost none. Sadly, we've been able to invite very few people to the deanery. So this year, my tax return will tell a story of loss, a story of the things that I've not been able to do in the year of COVID. What it will not tell is a story of gain, a story of things that I've learned or started or acquired. That's not its job. It's a tax return. It will disclose the fixed income that I receive and for which I'm heartily thankful. But staying with the tax return metaphor, would I describe what I have received this year as fixed? I would not. There have been gains that my return could never reflect. I can't point to a language learned or a skill acquired as some can. Do you remember all those online Italian classes and pictures of banana bread that were a feature of the first lockdown? My achievements are more modest. I started running and was very proudly up to 5 kilometres 3 times a week before I hurt my knee badly and was told by the doctor in no uncertain terms that I had to stop. On the other hand, my vegetable garden is looking pretty good and was recently commended by my colleague Ed, which is the equivalent of winning a gardening Oscar. But more interesting than those sorts of things is, if I may mix my accounting metaphors, the positive movement on my personal balance sheet, positive movement for which I am not responsible. I can't chart it, and I find it difficult to describe it. But it's what God has been doing in me and for me and with me in the last 16 months. You've heard me say this before. For a while, we lost everything. Music, the sacraments, the chance to gather together. And at the same time, we lost nothing. For God never lost us. We may be sure that throughout the months, whatever our losses, whatever our gains, there was God willing us to grow in trust and hope and love. When Christians proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ, we are not saying, "This is what I believe." I don't think many people are that interested in what we believe. What we are saying is, this is what has happened to me. This is what love has done with me. This is a risky claim to make, and it's certainly not quantifiable in accounting terms. But I think I may have got a bit better at doing that this last year. A bit better at telling that story. I wonder if you might say the same of yourself. God bless.